What's going on, guys? For today's video, we're going to be testing out a bunch of very fun 3D printed discs, and we're going to be finding out if disc size matters. So we're starting out with a normal ESP Nuke here, and then we printed a bunch of fun versions of Nukes, all with varying size diameters and changing the size of the rim. So some of them have the diameter changed, the rim the same. Some of them have the rim changed, diameter same. Some of them have both changed. So for example, this one is a 85% diameter, but normal rim. This one is 85% diameter, 85% rim, so it just scaled down 85%. This one is 70% diameter, normal size rim, so that one's going to be super interesting. This one's 70% for both, so again, normal Nuke just scaled to 70% size. And then we have this super tiny one, 50% size for the diameter, but 70% on the rim. We're going to test them all out, check out their stability, see how far they fly, and throw some fun shots of them. Let's get into it. All right, we'll play a handful of the longer open holes here just to test some stuff out. Our first hole, 350 feet. We're going to throw a hyzer with the normal Nuke. Then we're going to try and throw those pretty similar, get a good idea of distance and stability, and then mess with them on some more holes from there. First shot here, ESP Nuke. Swing in, I threw it a little too wide. First throw of the day, 40-footer. Is what it is. That's not what we're here for. All right, I'm thinking we want to try this guy first. So diameter 85%, rim at its normal size. So if I'm guessing before we test these out here, the bigger the rim compared to the disc size should be more overstable. So because this one is a smaller disc but a normal size rim, it should be more overstable than a normal Nuke. We're going to find out here. We're going to rip it not quite as wide here, try and get a slight hyzer, see how it does. Okay, it flipped up a lot more. It did have pretty good stability. Dang, that thing got a crush though. It did get a nice flip out of it though, but that's probably 30 deep in the basket, 30 right. That was pretty awesome. So that one actually flew pretty good. We're gonna try same size now. So this one's 85% diameter as well, but instead of having a normal 100% rim, it has 85% the size of the rim. So 1-to-1 scale compared to normal, just scaled down now 85% of its normal Nuke size. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty flippy just because of the weight now. Yep, and we got our first roller. That thing started to barrel roll. Okay, so that one's going to have to be a shorter thrower or a bunch of hyzer. That one's fun. We got our third one here, 70% scale for diameter, so quite a bit smaller now, but normal sized rim. So similar to the first one we threw, normal sized rim. But now it's even smaller. This one weighs 115 grams, but I think this is going to be one of the more overstable ones because it's so small, but with that normal sized rim. We're going to let it rip here. We're going to find out. Very, very weird to grab when it's that small. Oh boy, yeah, okay. Interesting. It looked like it got like no distance because it was on so much hyzer the whole way. But like, that's the closest one yet. I bet if you threw that thing on a bunch of 80, that thing could get a ton of distance. It's just so small. All right. Same size as the last one, 70% diameter, but now 70% rim. So again, 1-to-1 ratio, just normal Nuke scaled down to 70%. Should be flippy, similar to our 85-85, but we're going to find out. Yep, and we got another barrel roll. That one actually started to fully barrel roll. So this one actually has a slightly better rim to diameter ratio. So it should, I'm guessing, flippy because of how small it is, but probably not as flippy. But 50% scale on the diameter, 70% on the rim. Very awkward to even hold and try and throw because it's so small. We're going to see. Oh, wait a minute. It actually went okay. It's so hard to see. I mean, that probably went 300, but it's just so weird to let go because normally a disc kind of rips out of your hand, and that one didn't, so I definitely grip locked it. But we're going to test it out on some more holes now. We're going to see true max distance potential on each of them, throw some manis, throw some different shots for fun, see how we can do with them. We're going to go for some max distance shots here just for fun. Close her out. Let's start with the tiniest one here. I think because it's so hard not to grip up, I'm actually just going to try and pinch the rim and not even actually put my finger on the inside of it, and hoping that that just lets it slip out because it's just so light, it's so hard to even have it pull out of your hand. But let's see what we can do with it here. We're going to attempt to throw it flat, but this is probably going to be horrible. Okay, it came out. I don't even know if the camera can see it, but it's so small. But like, I threw it on a slight hyzer accidentally instead of flat. But that thing is extremely overstable for being a 43-gram disc. So let's go up to our two really understable ones quick here. See if we can get them to do some barrel rolls. We got our 0.7, 0.7. So again, normal ratio for a nuke, just brought down 72 grams here. We're gonna go high hyzer, see if we can get it to flip and roll. One barrel roll. Let's go. That thing got a full double barrel roll. I know it's tiny, but I really hope the camera can pick that up. That was awesome. Just super high, just corkscrewing through the air. So this one's the 0.85, 0.85. So it's a hair more overstable than that one, just because it's a little bit bigger, but ratios are the same. Try and do the same kind of shot here. Maybe flat instead of the hyzer, just because it won't flip quite as much. One barrel roll. There's the double. It didn't quite get fully on the double, but it was very, very close, but just a hair more overstable than that first one. Now let's get to the ones that are a little more overstable. So this one's our next up in stability-wise. This is closer to a normal nuke, but it's kind of hard to say the exact comparison, but 159 grams. So it's kind of a fun way of like, you can get a disc, same stability, even though it's smaller and lighter, but you just increase the rim size relative to its size. Get us some more stability. So we're gonna go high, slight ante here, see if we can't get some good distance out of it. Hold that. Come on. It was a little too high, but I mean, that's kind of smashed for throwing that way too nose up. I mean, that thing turned forever. We'll use the rangefinder, we'll get up here, we'll check them all. I'll put all the distances on the screen, but that was kind of smashed for how not great of a shot that was. But all right, our most overstable that's actually throwable. I mean, the red one's technically, I think, maybe right around the stability of this, but it's too hard to throw. Rim, normal sized, diameter 0.7. Same shot here. We're gonna try and go a little lower than that one, but more ante. Ah! It just slipped out early before I could get into the ante, so I just ended up throwing it so nose up. So that one didn't get much distance at all.